Hello. Very good afternoon. Can you hear me? Am I audible? Can I get a quick confirmation? Okay, let's start. So the topic we're going to discuss today is hoops in Java, as you are familiar with. So before we start off with the session, just wanted to have few answers from you. So in the last session, if you remember, we discussed what? What did we discuss in the previous session? Okay, in the basics of Java. Okay, fundamentals of Java, where did we discuss the basic features of Java programming? Yes, did we discuss? Out of which one of the most important feature of Java is what? What? One of the most important features of Java is what? Java is a no language, right? No, let's see. Yes, object oriented, right? Object oriented. Now, so here we are going to discuss the basic definition, the features and the principles of object-oriented programming, where we have got 8 principles. So let's start discussing, and you need to give the. So here we define the class as a user-defined type. As you know, that class is a reference type. Okay, so let's get on with our discussion. Are you all ready? Yes. When in between, I'll be giving you a few programs where you have to write. Okay, okay. I don't need the combination. I don't need the entire features right now. So Java is a root language. Now, already I think we have discussed this point like giving the difference between the procedure-oriented programming and object-oriented programming. Just redo it again. Let's do it again. Okay, now give the difference between it's a revision part. Programming and what is an object? Define an object. Define an object. Real world entity, right? Now give the difference between procedure-oriented programming and object-oriented programming. Let's start with that. Quick. Okay, module procedural, right? Okay. Emphasis is on functions and procedure-oriented programming. Okay, top-down approach. Data is not secure. Data is free to move from one function to another function. Now, object-oriented programming. So, procedure-oriented programming. The approach is top-down, bottom-up. Right. Here, the emphasis on functions. In object-oriented programming, emphasis is on what? Okay, the concentration is on objects. Yes, style is secure. The entire concept emphasizing on what? Methods are right. So what do we need to perform some action? Very good. Data. Good going. Right. Reduces complexity. Fine. So can we call them to be the features also? Yes. Farooq? No. This is the features of object-oriented programming. Hmm. So emphasis is on data, more secure, portable. No, no, you are giving me the features of Java, Jyoti. Not Jyoti, sorry. Jayashree. Okay, portable and can solve the complex problems and real world examples. Am I right? Am I right? Now, list the principles of OOPS, principles of object oriented programming. List the principles of object oriented programming. We have eight principles, right? The first one we start with is okay, I accept it. So we do go with encapsulation, inheritance, abstraction, encapsulation. So we have first one to be understood is objects, classes. Just let me know whether I'm right or wrong. Okay. Data, encapsulation, data abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism, dynamic binding, message pass. And apart from these principles, we do have association, aggregation, and then composition. Right? Now, let's start discussing each and every principle. Let's start with classes first. Why to start with classes? Define class. Define class. Instance of an object. Akila. Okay, class is a blueprint or plan or template from which objects are created. From which objects are created. Hmm. So it's a collection of objects, right? Where I can call it to be object factory. Is it right or wrong? Yes, class is a user-defined type. Okay, as such, we have come to this point that classes are user-defined, is a user-defined type. Now give me the structure of the class. Perfect. Karishma. Fine. Yes. No, no, we'll come to the structure I said. Last class also, last session also, you were confused with the structure and the example. I just need the general syntax. Where you just coded with class is a collection of data members, member functions, and constructors. Please do it. Class as user defined type. Hmm. Class data member. How many of you really remember the basic structure of the class? See, unless and until, yeah, yes, yes, something, I think, yes, Anvit. Hmm. Access, specifier, class. Okay, this is the block. So this is called the external wrapper. So this wraps the internal contents, right? This wraps the internal contents. Hmm. Data member one. Sorry. Data type member one. Hmm. And here again we do have the method access specifier, return type, method name, can we have method with parameters? Is it accepted? Can we have method with parameters? Okay. So let me simply say parameter list. And what do you call this? Constructor, right? So we can have a default constructor, we can have the parameter as constructor, and we can have the copy constructor, right? Now, referring to this, so these are the internal contents, and we call them the internal contents, and this is called the external wrapper. Now, how do you instantiate? How do you instantiate a class? Which keyword is used to create the instance? By creating an object unit. So syntactically it can be represented as class name, object name is equal to new. Am I right or wrong? Is this correct? Right. Now let me give you an example where you have to create a class employee, EMP, or employee. Choice is yours. EMP. Understand the program and write. Okay, so your data members should include employee number, employee name, age. Use the method read to read the data. Methods, data members, member functions. So now we are emphasizing on the data. So earlier we used to define int a. So we are not specifying how we are working with the data. Here in object-oriented programming, we specifically mention that. And use the display method. So read, no. Excuse me. Sorry. Use the method write to write the data. So display the data. This word. So we can extend the same to constructors also. We can redo it using encapsulation. Everything can be done with one example. Yes. So if you want, I can copy the structure. See, webinar means it's a discussion part where you should also respond and you should query. Right? Maybe this would be the last session. So just you're right. So what did I tell you in the last class? So you put it as a sorry, you put it as a poll and then click on send. Akila, understand the program and write. This is object-oriented programming. The very beginning, we are at the basic level. Yes, yes, recordings will be uploaded. I put it as a whole in the chat box. And by the way, how many of you can write the programs in Eclipse? How many of you can create a new class? And how many of you can define the methods? So bottom-up approach, how many of you can demonstrate? I need a quick confirmation. See, if you really want me to demonstrate, I'll do it. Otherwise, I'll leave it. So we'll proceed with the discussion and we'll end the session. That's it. Jitendra, this is madam, this is not sir. If you want me to demonstrate, then only I'll do it. That's it. Like inheritance, polymorphism, you can do it. Abstraction, interfaces. Interface, I'll do it. Interface, still we have not come to that discussion. If you respond quickly, then we can do everything. Otherwise, I need to restrict only to the definition and syntax discussion and I have to close it. See, what did I ask you? Define a class employee. So this should be your first step. Okay, this should be your first step. Now, what data members we should use? Int, now, employee number, employee age. Ah, like setters and getters later, encapsulation. So when they are setters and getters, your data should be primary. Right. Next one, string ini. Now what did I ask you to do? Read the data. So this reading can be done in two ways. One is we can initialize the data. Data you can use a scanner class or a package to input the data. So right now I'm initializing the so e number is equal to 1, e name is equal to you write your name is equal to some 50. Now what did I ask you to display? Use the same methods, okay? Even when you're answering on the portal also you have to use the same methods, same data. Don't use SOP. This is wrong. Your test cases will be failed. Use the proper statement. People programming party people are not providing. So this is how your template should look like. This is how your template should look. Is it clear? Suppose you can use toString also. That's your choice. So we are only in the beginning stage, starting stage. Okay. So why do we use toString? Why do we use toString? What happens if you use toString? Ah, fine. No, no, this is a procedural programming. We'll call the object. So, yes, right. Reference will be by two objects. I think I've received the program here from Anvi. Okay, right. Okay, read. Okay, with parameters. Even this can be done. So, I just copy your function and with. Is it clear with everybody? Is it clear? Now, as this is mentioned here, this is mentioned here. So, what is the importance of this keyword? Why do we use this keyword? Yes. So, I'm going in my order. Okay, fine. Good. This represent refers to what? Correct. This refers to the current object in it. Now, is it clear with everybody? So, this is a method with no parameters, and this is a method with parameters where multiple values can be passed. So, shall we do it? So, every time you need to call the, so let me go proceed with the discussion, then we can go with the constructors also simultaneously. Then I'll demonstrate. Okay. See here. Every time, whenever you create an object, you need to call the read method and display method. So many times we'll be calling the read method. So with parameters, display method will display the output only on the console, on the monitor, right? On the screen. So every time whenever you call the invoke the read method, so you need to consume lot of memory. So is there any other solution for it where we can avoid the memory consumption? No, no. Instead of invoking the read method every time to avoid the memory consumption, so can we use any other method? Yes, constructors are helpful. So same thing. Constructors work like a read method only, but slightly in a more sophisticated way. So now, define constructors. Define constructors. Right. Define constructors. Who have asked you to do right? No? Quick. So constructors are special member functions which are automatically invoked when an object is created. Explain the features of constructors. Explain the features of constructors. Okay, same as class name. Okay, consumes less memory. Okay, should be always public. Next, no return time. Perfect. List the types of constructors. Should be always public means no other access specifier should be used. Yes, can be overloaded. Right. List the types of constructors. Right. So default or non-parameterized, parameterized, and copy constructor. So we do have the constructor overloading here, right? Good. So shall we see to the programs? Okay, let's do one thing. Let's go with the data encapsulation also. Then simultaneously, I can demonstrate all the three programs. Is it okay? Data encapsulation. See how many ways your data has been secured. In how many ways? Directly copying the object, passing the object as a parameter. Hmm. Data encapsulation. Define data encapsulation. Hmm. Can I call it to be data hiding also? Data hiding. Data wrapping of data. Right. Wrapping of data and methods into a single unit or capsule. So which is also known as data hiding. When your data is hidden, so what access specifier should you use? And if you can observe one thing, you're all sending your messages to all the are you sending the messages to all the participants or only to me? Just observe next to your name. So what do you call that access specifier accessing as? Private. So your data should be private. So it's a real world example, sir. Before you should understand it. So what I mean to say is don't simply by heart. Don't mug up. First understand the concept, then go with the structures, then go with the programming part. Just analyze that. So that's the best way to learn. As you're all beginners, this is the best way to learn. So once you get a proper hold on the subject, then easily you can motivate yourself for the next level. So that is how you should proceed. Okay. So I know. Mostly they start off with public study. You start off with public study point me. But you understand why we have to use it, why we have to start with it. As I've already mentioned, this is not an explanation session, it's only a discussion session. So let's discuss the important points. So, wrapping of data and methods into a single unit. So, your data should be what? Private or public? Data should be always private. Right. Now, just go through till what we have done. By the way, one more thing. Anyway, this message passing communication with an object, that's fine. What is dynamic binding? What is dynamic binding? Define dynamic binding. Compilation at runtime. Can you be more specific? Sorry. Yes, dynamic binding or date binding. Actual execution of the program. Yes, binding dates is the execution of the. So do you mean to say that dynamically binding the object to the method? Then which is called static binding. So you mean to say in one word it's runtime. It occurs during runtime, right? It occurs during runtime. Okay, fine. So dynamic binding or late binding. Now just go through for 2 minutes. Yes, just go through for 2 minutes. So if you do have any doubts, let me know. Otherwise, we'll proceed with the demonstration. Hmm. Introduce our program with the type of object is determined. Well, stop it. Okay. Yes. Yes. Shall we start? Do you have any doubts? See, I see very good strength. I request everybody to interact. Very few are interacting. So I hope, can I get a quick confirmation that you're all following that now? Can you please raise your hands? Okay, fine. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Now this is your project source. Okay, fine. Thank you. New class. So let me say ELP. No public static void name now. Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do the program encapsulation. Okay, Hemant? So the main thing is providing a security that can be done. That's why encapsulation is one of the most important features where your data can be private. So we'll see to the accessibility. How it works. Now, int, e number, age, in. Now, add comments wherever required if possible. Right. Now, right click, new, class, employee. Use different names. No public static void name. invoke the read method. So we will not struggle here. And invoke the write method. So your output is displayed on the console. So now my question is how many instances can be created per class? How many instances can be created per class? As many as possible, right? Now what we'll do is so it will read, right? Right? Based on the user requirement only, that's correct. But minimum should be one, maximum can be n. So see, same data is being repeated. How to overcome this? So now here, use the method with the parameters. Use the same order, however you use the order in the same way, we have to pass the values. Right? Now, so this is a parameterized method. Now here, just pass the values. Instead of the same values, you pass the different values. And say the change in output for the second instance, second student. Oh, where did I go wrong? Where did I go wrong? Correct only, right? What does it say? Is not able to argument in string int. What's wrong? Please rectify the. Okay. See here we get the method with the parameters also. Let's see. Okay, to string null. But why does it say it's not applicable? I went wrong somewhere. The same the right method only, correct? Same right method, correct? Where did I go wrong? Observe the code and the input. Hello, can you hear me? Am I audible? Can you hear me? Hmm. Tell me where did I go wrong? Rectify the error. Thank you. Thanks for the information. Rectify the error. What do I need to get it from the source? Correct. Method overloading is going to be one of the most important features of polymorphism. That's fine. Yes, Pavitra? There's no overriding method here, so I'm not going to override it because we are in the same class. I don't require delegate methods also. Hmm. This is a correct read method only. Oh, did I do something wrong? Not required. Correct only. Setters and getters that I'll use. First, you tell me this. Got it? Okay. Variable name is not EMP. Class name is EMP. Okay, variable name is EMP, not EMP. Okay, you want me to copy this now? Rewrite the same program using constructors. How many of you? Okay, encapsulation also will just see to it. Uh, the strings went wrong. Representing ename and strings went wrong. So you should follow the basic order. Are you clear, all of you? Is it clear? Now, let's go with data encapsulation and then let's go with the constructors. What here only we can do constructors. Now, how to generate constructors using Eclipse? So I could see someone saying that, madam, we can do it in Eclipse. So we can write the programs. I mean, we can write and execute the programs in Eclipse. So how many of you can help me to work with constructors? Hmm, correct. How? How? No problem. How many of you can help me to write the program using constructors in Eclipse? Can't I generate it directly? So generate. See, there are two ways here. One is when you go with a new class. Yes, when you go to the new class, here we have an option constructors from superclass. So object is a superclass for all the classes. Lang is a super package. Please remember that. So maybe a bit question, one more question, or it's a blank. Fill in the blank. Which is a superclass for all the classes? Object class. And let all be capitalized. Super package, lang is a super package. So this is one way opting here, generating constructors. So if you have not done that, no worries. Go to source, generate constructor from superclass. So this is generating. We have two options here if you could observe. One is generating constructors from superclass, one is generating constructor using fields. So one is a parameterized constructor, one is a default constructor. So generate constructor using superclass. Now you could see the superclass. Okay, generate. Got it? Now I am not invoking the properties here. So this is a constructor. This is the default constructor. Is it clear? Now, now, so let's do both. Let's do both. So go to source, generate constructors using fields. So depends. Now as is a very small program, basic program. So we'll select all the fields. Generate. The only difference here is difference lies in the method name. It's a special method. Yes, Rajita. Now public void or display. If you can observe, we are using the same display method. So you can understand the concept of reusability. Got it? So let me copy this in the chat box. Now where to pass the values? Because it means to say that we are trying to import the properties of the superclass. Right? As if there is any other class, any superparent class for the current class, so obviously the properties can be imported. So that is the meaning of it. Now, where to pass the values? So we don't have the read method. So let me delete the read method. Where to pass the values? We have changed the method name. Please be careful when you change the names. Hmm. So this is invoking the parameter non-parameterized constructor, default constructor, and where to pass the parameters, pass the values for the parameterized constructor. how to pass the values for the parameter as constructor. For the read method, okay, we have passed the read method. For the constructors, how to pass? Hmm, right. We need to pass it. So names can be similar. There's no problem. But see that where did I go wrong again? Oh, I should check to the order. Age and name. See, the order went wrong. The order went wrong. So the way it is being generated, you have to pass the values also in the same order. Otherwise, there will be a conflict with the data. Got it? But display will be the same. However, you want to display the same way you get it. Is it clear? Okay, now just go through for 2 minutes and we'll proceed with polymorphism, inheritance, abstract class, and interfaces. Aggregation. Continue. Continue for 2 minutes. Yes. Is it clear with everybody? Do you have any doubts? Okay. Shall we proceed with the next feature, next principle? So till now I was giving you the examples, right? Uh, Now I wanted you to define polymorphism and give me an example for polymorphism. Now define polymorphism. Types of polymorphism. Sorry, basic features of polymorphism. And one example. Please do it. That's what? Incomplete answer. Many forms means what? Hmm. So you should be clear with the definition. More than one forms what? Who? Huh? That's what? One thing in many forms. What is it? Poly means many, morphism. That's perfect. That's perfect. What are the basic features of polymorphism? Important features. An object is or method is exhibited in multiple forms. Right? Hmm? Overloading, overriding. What to define overloading and overriding? Define overloading and overriding. Example, okay, fine. Real time example, fine. But I wanted you to write a program. Overloading and overriding, which occurs within the class and which occurs in different classes, in subclasses. Okay, so overriding, which occurs within the class, and overloading is possible during compile time or runtime. Same method with same signature. So this is compile time. I think already we have discussed this, we have come across this. So compile time, we can call it to be static binding. Overriding, runtime, which is called dynamic binding. Okay. Same method with different parameters. Okay, give me an example. I need a program. I need the program. That's overriding. That's a overriding. The example you have provided. That's overriding. How can you justify that overloading, polymorphism, and inheritance are related? See, I tell you one thing, you need to concentrate on the programming part more. You need to concentrate more on the programming. So you have to decide on yourself. How can you explain that inheritance and polymorphism are related? In what way they are related? Hmm. You can give me one best example. Already we have done one program, right? We have used the read method. Constructor overloading we have done. We have seen. Constructor overloading we have seen. And method overloading we have seen. Already we have seen that. So you tell me, madam, we have already done that. Yes. Yeah, anyway, I'll give you one program and see. This is copy constructor. So directly, so we have two ways here. One is passing the constructor with the object, the method with the object. The other one is directly copying, assigning the object to the object. So when you display, you get the properties of the first constructor. Sorry, the first object. So this is one way. Very, very simple example. Area. Okay. Area. What do you call this? What do you call this? What do you call this? So we can rewrite the same program using constructors also. This is called method with parameters. Hmm. Right? Now, let me use the same method. I think I'm right with my text. This is area of rectangle. You should respond immediately. Okay. Area, area of a square. Yes, on this side. Area of a square. Got it? Yes, different parameters like int, long. We can pass. Area of a circle. A very simple example. So 3.14 into R into R. Triangle of BH. So this is the best, the most easiest example where we can easily write. Okay, different parameters can be passed. Just remove the Name them. Is it clear all of you? Is it clear? So now write the main method and then invoke the pass the values to the methods. So this is time consuming. So we can directly go with the constructors. Okay. Next, let's move on to inheritance. Define inheritance and explain types of inheritance. Define inheritance and explain types of inheritance. Define inheritance first. Define inheritance. Okay, deriving the properties of base or parent or superclass. Hmm. So we have single, multi-level, multiple, hierarchical, hybrid. Okay. Okay, very also reusability of the code. Which keyword is used to extend the properties of superclass? The class extends keyword, right? Extends keywords. Can you take a so Java supports what type of inheritance? Java basically supports what type of inheritance? Single, all the types basically. So multiple is not supported directly. Can be supported using multiple inheritance is supported by using interfaces, right? Hmm. How many of you can demonstrate? Okay, give me the structure first for the single level. Give me the structure for the single level. Inheritance exhibits what type of relationship? That's what you people are going wrong. Well, class, it's not a constructor. I'm not asking you to go with a constructor, which contains data and methods. Class B extends A. This is single level, which contains data members and member functions. Now class C, this is multi-level. Now which class should be instantiated? Yes, generalization relationship. Okay, means what? Is A or has A? Is A or has A? Is a relationship. Right, good, good. Is A. Has A is exhibited by? Aggregation. Right, aggregation. By aggregation. So how many of you can demonstrate inheritance in Eclipse? Quick. Composition is a part of the relationship. So if one class ceases, the other is also ceased. Association is a relationship, two independent classes. So we are two independent classes now. Hmm. How many of you can demonstrate in Eclipse? You want me to demonstrate? I'll do it. Otherwise, we'll proceed with the next one. Still, we are left only with two. So once the discussion is over, your class gets over. Okay, fine. Definition wise, it's fine. My question is, how many of you can demonstrate in Eclipse? Quick, guys, I need a response. Fine. Okay, new. So I'll take up the same example. Class. My class is A. No public static void name. And this is the super class. Please just observe this. Finish. So let's do the results now. Here, in this class, I consider only student member. And as such, I go with the constructor source, constructor from superclass, generate. So that means take two fields here. SV. So we demonstrate the overriding concept. So I use the same method. I use the method display method in both the classes. So extensions you can do that later. Okay. Now the subclass. So this is the superclass. Class A is the superclass. The subclass should extend the properties of the superclass. So name the subclass. And here superclass. You should extend the properties of the superclass, right? So superclass. Okay. We don't require the constructors from current superclass. This is the superclass. Browse. Now type A here. So already A might be existing in different projects also. So and understanding the concept of reusability, we can get the class A from other classes, but right now I'm not doing that. So I'm just using the class that is being created in your source. B50. 2. So we need to extend the properties from A. Okay, fine. Got it? If you can observe, so we could see the extends keyword also. Now, this contains total. See, understand. So we are dividing your entire program into modules, and where we are integrating them. So, use the same method. What is the purpose of super keyword? What is the purpose of super keyword? Yes, what is the purpose of super keyword? Refers to the immediate parent object. Now, so I'm going only with a single level class, my inherit. I don't require constructors now. So whenever you want to extend, suppose if at all you go to the next level. So first floor, second floor, third floor, extensions. Extensions. Okay. So now I'm at the top. I don't require any uh, constructors now. So public select public static void main. If at all you feel that, okay, you're done. Now instantiate the subclass, call the display. So only the subclass properties are displayed. Then to get the properties of the superclass, go to the subclass and here super dot display. Right? Got it? So this is how you have to work with it. I hope it's clear with everybody. Is it clear? Yes, is it clear all of you? So another 10 to 15 minutes, we'll just go with the extra class and interfaces and we'll wind up the session. We don't have any doubts. Right. Now, define abstract class. And what is the importance of abstract class? So data abstraction is one of the most important features of the Java. And how can we achieve 100% abstraction to abstract class or interfaces? 100% abstraction is achieved through what? Huh. So a class which is declared with the keyword abstract class. Abstract, okay, fine. Hmm. Hides the irrelevant data, correct? Irrelevant data, okay, only showing the functionality, right? Does abstract class provide 100% abstraction? So abstract keyword is used. Abstract class name. What methods abstract class should contain? Okay. Mhm. What methods abstract class should contain? Can abstract class contain concrete methods? Okay, abstract methods. And concrete methods. Can it contain static methods, private methods? What is a static method? Can static data refer non-static data? Can static data refer non-static data? Okay. So does abstract class provide 100% abstraction? Right. So how many of you can, so I hope you can work in Eclipse, right? Can abstract class be instantiated? Can abstract class be instantiated? No. Can a class extend the properties of an abstract class? Yes, it can only be invented. So I don't think you need a demonstration, right? Are overriding methods generated here? When we extend the properties of abstract class, are overriding methods generated? Of course, yes. When we extend, obviously overriding methods are generated. Yes. So I think we can go with the programming part. You can do it right and you not demonstrate it. Next, come to the okay, we'll not demonstrate it. Now come to the concept of interfaces. Define an interface. Define an interface and bring out the similarities between interface and classes. Quick. Which consists of final numbers, right? Bring out the similarities between. Final, I have come to one word, right? Is Java an automatic garbage collector? Which keyword is used? Okay, fine. What is the importance of final? Suppose if your class is final, what happens? Cannot be would not overridden. If method is final, it cannot be overridden. If class is no subclassing, no subclassing. Method is final, can't be overridden, correct. If your data member is final, data member. If your data is final, we cannot change the value. Cannot change the value. Where? Where the value can't be changed. In subclasses. Perfect. Now, define interface. Define interface. Give the syntax and compare interface and class. Hmm. Quick. Okay. There are only abstract methods. So is this correct? Is this syntactically correct? Hmm? What methods does interface contain? So will it contain final data? Can interface contain concrete methods? Can an interface contain concrete methods? Okay, so that's the reason 100% abstraction is achieved through interfaces. Can interfaces be extended? Interfaces can only be implemented. Can one interface extend the properties of another interface? Can you give me a real-time examples for interfaces? Can you give me real-time examples for interfaces? Implementing using the properties. So we use headset, we use internet connection. So we have extensions and implementations to run our session, right? Yes or no? Okay, fine. What is the difference between class and an interface? Static constants and abstract methods, right? What is the difference between class and an interface? Difference in- Hmm. Okay, class describes attributes and behavior, right? Whereas an interface okay, contains the behavior the class implements, right? Okay, how many of you can execute the programs in Eclipse? Yes, quick. Yes, can you do it? Abstract class and interface. So composition exhibits part of the relationship. Association one to one, one to many, independent, two independent classes. Aggregation, which has a relationship with the superclass. Okay, can you do it? So you don't want me to demonstrate abstract class and interface programs? Yes. Yes, I need a quick response. Do you want me to demonstrate or no? Okay, fine. Okay, we'll demonstrate. Source, class. So let me see a very simple example I'm going to give you. Abstract one, not public static void main. I don't require any constructors also. If you want, we can do. So abstract class should contain at least one abstract method. So check abstract. So it should contain one regular method. This is the concrete method. What's wrong? Okay, now what is this? Where did I go wrong? Am I right or wrong? Where did I go wrong? Am I right? Correct only, right? No, no. Just a minute. The class body is not closed. Screen close it. Right. Now, so abstract class can be extended. So new class abstract to extended, right? Go to super class. Now provide the name abstract one. So overriding method extended. So we don't know. See, basically I've considered only one class. We may work with n number of classes. Fine. Now right click, new class, my abstract, go with public static void name. So which class should be instantiated? Not the abstract class. So abstract to use the relevant object name, use the relevant variable names to avoid confusion. Display one, which is the abstract method, and this is the regular method. So that is the reason regular method is not being overridden in the when we extended the properties. I hope you understood that. This is the concrete method. This is not overridden here. Only abstract method is overridden. Clear all of you? Yes or no? So I think interfaces, we can work with interfaces. So interfaces should be implemented. Let me just demonstrate an example. New. Here you have to go with the interface, not class. Okay, let's take interface A1. So which contains one method and okay. Spelling. Right click, new, class, not class, interface, right? New, interface, B1. So we have used the same methods in different program, but that doesn't conflict. Okay, now I have defined two interfaces where I am implementing, where the class implements the interfaces. My end. So interfaces should be implemented. Click on add A1. So it lies in the same project. Let's add B1, finish. So overriding minutes are generated. You don't mention anything, no problem. Otherwise, you write some message. So this types of message A is equal to 10. A. Now this should contain. We can use the same variable because we are using it in different method. Now, define a new class with the main method. Public static void main. Display one. Display two. No execute. Got it. Okay, take down. Did you understand all of you? So create two interfaces. The class implements it. So we can use the same. We can use public static void main in the same class, but to avoid the confusion, now it is bottom-up approach. So main checks for the existence of the class. Is it clear with everybody? Hello. this is the class. Now this is another class. So this address class can be reused. Okay. So this contains employee number and age. Okay, let me say email, and here we are using this class as an entity. Directly we are using the class as an entity referring to the object. So this is aggregation, example on aggregation. Where we generate the constructor again and we pass the values. First the value should be passed into this class, subclass, and then we have to go with the main class. This is what we call hazard relationship. You can try out this program. This is reference. AD is the reference for the address class. But when it comes to the display, now see the difference here. So we need first state, right? City. So this should be, what is the reference here? ED dot city. So where is this city? Where is it defined? That should be observed. Is it clear, all of you? Now create the instance for the employee class. So first what you have to do is instantiate address A1 and pass the values. So this is another concept of reusability. And here employee and pass this object as a parameter and invoke the display. You can try this, and any errors, maybe I must have given with errors only, you have to rectify because you have to understand the concept of the relationship here. So this is not generalization. This is not generalization. So in this way you can create multiple instances. First you pass the values of address class and then you come back to the main class. So this is what we call the aggregation. Two different classes, they're related in some way. They're related in some way. Now I hope we have covered everything. If you have a few more minutes, if you do have any doubts, please let me know. Don't make the decision. Feedback link will be shared.